All right, ladies and dudes, this is going to be a tough one. Stay tuned. What's up, YouTube? It's this guy, Jeremy McDonald. Let me hear you say it. One of your very favorite people with Parkinson's. Of course, it's Jeremy, also known as J Mac, Jeremy Mac. Let's do this thing. Welcome to the show. J Mac here. If you'd like to get a hold of me, J Mac Podcaster. That's spelled Jaymac podcaster@gmail.com. Also on Instagram at Jeremy Mac, the number 76. I got to give a shout out here to a very intelligent woman. Her name's Dyan. This video was inspired by you, Dyan. It's a video she did this week, and I'll put the link in the description below. Her channel is called My Daily PD. Very good, very insightful. This video was very emotional. It really touched me, and I thought I would just kind of give my take on it. All right, let's talk about the burden that is this disease we carry around, this monkey on our back, this Parkinson's. It's a lot. It's a weight. It's a heavy weight that never goes away. By the way, I should note that this week was particularly difficult for me because my son, who's almost 13, was on spring break. And then my wife, whose line of work, it's very busy around this time of year, it was rough. And then I felt pretty crappy. I was only really able to get out by myself. Hey, one time. So yeah, but I think that's why Dyan's video really touched me. Okay, here's the thing. No matter how much we exercise, no matter how much weight we lift, no matter how many steps we take, no matter how many rounds of boxing we do, no matter how many laps at the gym we do or reps, it doesn't, I'm not going to say it doesn't matter. Also, you might hear some thunder. It's just started storming outside, so don't worry. I'm in the bunker. I can't be touched. But yeah, I mean, no matter how much we do, ultimately it doesn't, I mean, it does matter, but we can't stop this thing called Parkinson's. And I've just been realizing that I was diagnosed at 36. I'm going to be 49 next month, or a month and a half. Let's just say roughly a month and a half. I've been sick for like a little over a quarter of my life. That's a long time, and I'm only going to be 49. I mean, I can't even imagine what 50 is going to be like, much less 60. It's scary, and I feel like there's this sense that we all get sometimes, like we're Parkinson's warriors. We're going to fight this thing. Well, guess what? Parkinson's always wins in the long run, and Father Time is undefeated. These are really grim thoughts to think about, and I mean, as much as I try not to, it's something that's very real. And like I said, Dyan's video was really emotional for me to watch, because her channel is really about her fitness and she does like vocal exercises. And she's really hardcore with it. And even she, as much as she works and tries and stays active, it's like you're only really staving off the inevitable. Now, I know there's this line of thought, well, aren't we all just staving off the inevitable? Well, yes, but truly, Parkinson's it's a devil that it's on our back that's more than just age. I mean, just think about the burden we carry, knowing that this disease is eventually going to win. Now, I have a friend, a very dear friend, one of my best friends in the world, and they have MS. And I remember they were telling me years ago, before I was actually diagnosed, and they were telling me about how that they knew MS was going to kill them one day. And I thought, how do you get up every day and go to work when you know this thing is going to basically bring you to your knees, and then you're just going to die sick from a long-term illness? And this was before I was diagnosed. A little did I know I was already having symptoms. But I tell you what, that was a grim thing. I remember coming home to my wife and telling her, I was like, my friend told me she's got MS, and she explained to me what's going to happen. It was just overwhelming. I said, how do you get out of bed? It's kind of like us. How do we get out of bed with this weight, this huge burden on our shoulders of like, I can't even put it into words. Like the weight that we live with, that we're one day going to become a burden to our family. One day we're not going to be able to take care of ourselves, hygiene, things like that. And I know we can't dwell on it, but God, it's a lot. It's a lot, and it's a weight that I think at least I sometimes can dismiss, and that's how I get through it. But it's hard to dismiss facts, and the more you think about it, the more overwhelming it gets, which is why you can't think about it. But you do. It's impossible to not think about it. So, I mean, I can sit down here in my movie collection in my little video store, and I can feel safe and secure. And this is my safe place because I can escape in all my movies. By the way, stay tuned. I've got a movie review for you, or a movie recommendation at the end of the video. We just got to make our own little caves, our own little hideaways, our own little personal island hideaways, so to speak, like that, like my song I put out a couple weeks ago. Because otherwise, we're not going to make it. We've got to take care of ourselves. I've got a therapist appointment on Tuesdays. I'm going to talk to her about some of this stuff. It's completely overwhelming, and to think that as hard as we struggle, that inevitably it'll bring us all to our knees. It's not what I want to hear. It's not what I need to hear. But let me know, guys. Do you struggle with these feelings? I mean, I got to tell you, when I was first diagnosed, it was easy to be in denial. I took my Cinemet, and for a while everything worked. I'm not saying I didn't have hard days, but it seemed like I could do it. Every day gets a little bit harder. Like I said, this last week, spring break, with the puppy and the boy and my wife's busy schedule. And then it was a bad physical week for me as well. I mean, I was able to get out to the mall and buy a couple movies for my collection, but I was exhausted when I got home, probably wrecked myself. Today I'm feeling, it was at death's door, and it's crazy how one little white pill can bring us from complete paralysis to talking and walking around, or at least somewhat. So let me know how you deal with these feelings of being overwhelmed. I think of that Beatles song, "Boy, You're Gonna Carry That Weight." Carry that weight a long time on Abbey Road. I mean, it's just, I got to take it one day at a time, but I'm kind of feeling swallowed up by it right now. So maybe you guys got some advice. Maybe you've got stories of your own. It does help to feel like I'm being heard and that there's other people can relate. I know you guys can relate. I mean, I guess I'll try to end on something a little bit less. Well, it's dark, but it's imaginary dark. It's a movie selection, but yeah, just let me know what you guys think. Okay, let's switch gears real quick here. This is my movie selection, or my recommendation for the week. What Lies Beneath. It's got Harrison Ford and Michelle Pfeiffer. It came out in 2000. It's a really good movie. It reminds you of Hitchcock. I picked it up at the mall for $4. I'm sure you can find it on YouTube Movies or Amazon or something like that. Apple. Great movie, but do not watch the preview, because the preview ruins the surprise of the movie. Trust me, when this came out, it was noted that, the preview ruined the movie, so don't watch it. It's kind of reminds you of Rear Window a little bit, Dial M for Murder, kind of that Hitchcocky, a little bit Shyamalan, before Shyamalan started being weird, like the twist at the end. Trust me, What Lies Beneath. Check this out, folks. Maybe it'll make you forget about Parkinson's for a while. That's all I got from the currently rainy and thunder-filled city of St. Louis. Peace and love.